minute?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
30 seconds. We'll do it on the live stream. Let's hold till then. If it's just going to be here, grab the other mic. Oh, it's wireless. It's all wireless.
All right, we ready, Steve?
Ready to go?
You ready to go?
You want to go?
Yep.
You want to count down or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'll let you know when to start.
Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Congratulations, Tommy. That was a great performance. Talk about your win tonight.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. Thanks for having me. Cleveland's been amazing. Performance tonight, you know, truthfully, I'm always a truthful guy. It wasn't the best performance I've ever produced, I'll note that. But, you know, it is what it is. Boxing's the hardest game in the world, and if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. I'm limited in experience, only had 10 amateur fights. This was my 7th professional fight tonight. I'm not the type of young fighter who's an active fighter. I keep having fights and breaks, which can't happen anymore. But listen, we got the win, and that's all that matters. I'm straight back in the gym, and I'm on to the next.
Great. Open it up to questions to the media in the room.
Tommy, was his height more of a struggle than you anticipated? It seemed like he was able to duck underneath your punches and engage the clinch more often than you maybe would have anticipated.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, listen, boxing's a funny game, and that was the first opponent I'd ever faced who was as short as that. But, you know, there's no excuses. It's just another style that I've learned now, I've been in there with, so I'm going to add it to my arsenal. And that's it, to be fair, but, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? It wasn't the best performance for myself, but I don't make any excuses. I got the win, and that's what I came here for, so I'm happy.
At this point in your career, is it not? It's just about getting the rounds in and getting those wins, right? You're still learning, you're still adjusting. So can you at least take a silver lining that it might not be the most exciting fight, but it's still a win on the record?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, and you know, it's still a win on the record. We're 7-0 now, and we just keep pushing. We just keep pushing along, and that's what this game's about. Just taking it slow and steady. And that's how you win the race. I feel like, you know, the more fights I have, the better I'll get. The more rounds underneath my belt, the better I'll get. So, you know, it's all plus points to take from this. You know, as I say, straight back in the gym, straight back in learning. But the thing I need most is fights, and that's what I intend to do, you know, over this next year or so. Going into the new year, I really want to be active. I don't care who's in the opposite corner as long as I'm in there on fight night, you know, underneath the lights, in front of the crowd. I just want to add the crowd was absolutely amazing tonight. Thank you to everyone in Cleveland who showed up and supported. And a big shout out to everyone in the UK that stayed up late and tuned in to watch me fight. Really appreciate it, guys. I wouldn't be here without you.
Obviously, people are going to want to know, what did you think of the main event between Jake and Tyron?
I didn't think anything, to be fair. The man can say what he wants about my performance, but he went 8 rounds with a guy who just walked forward like a plank of wood and like didn't throw a shot. And every time Tyrone did throw a shot, he nearly knocked him out. I can't remember what round it was. He hit him with a straight right, number 4, nearly knocked Jake Paul out. Didn't know what day it was. But you know, Jake Paul's one of them. You'd be surprised if you see him in the ring again, because I don't think Jake Paul's got a lot of balls. It's obvious. You know, he got asked about me in the post-fight interview. I didn't have nothing to say. He confronted me in the hallway there. Had his all about 15, 20 team of him jump all over us. He was there. He was ready to fight there and then. He's big in front of cameras, but small by himself. And Jake Paul realised tonight how hard sport boxing is, and he got kicked with a little shot. So imagine if he got hit and dropped. I don't know if you'll see Jake Paul back in the ring again.
What happened in the hallway? Talk us through it.
Well, it just transpired about 10 minutes ago. I was doing an interview down there, and his whole team landed. Jake Paul squaring up to me, but then he seen me at ringside. I was leaning over the ropes, waiting to get in there. It was Logan. No, not right now. They ain't fighters. I've said this from word 1. If you want this fight, I'm here and I'm ready to go. There's no running, there's no playing. And it's fine if you don't want the fight, just say it. You know, you can put everyone's mind to rest, then stop bullshitting all the time and just say it how it is. You either want the fight or not. I want the fight. And if you don't, just say it. We can move on. I can go my way. You go your way, but stop using my name.
How close did it get to fisticuffs out here?
I would say pretty close. I would say pretty close. I mean, I've not watched it back, but I was ready to throw hands there and then. You know, this man's all in front of the cameras, but he doesn't understand that me and my team will go now. We don't care about how many years are you. We'll get stuck in. So he can count his blessings in the whole way, really.
Who broke it up?
Hey?
Who broke it up?
40 of his security team broke it up because the man can't fight. He can't fight. So imagine him on a street fight, please. He won't last 2 seconds. If he had no security team there with him, he wouldn't have even walked straight past me.
So, Tommy, what do you think you have to do to get that fight then?
It's not a case of what I have to do to get the fight. You know, I'm not begging and pleading for the fight. I'm hit. I didn't ask to be on this undercard. They put me on the undercard, and they've obviously not done it for the good of my health. They put me on this undercard for a reason. Now, I was very, accepted by the American audience, as you all, could see when I was walking out. It was like I was walking out in Manchester. I'm not begging and pleading for this fight. I'm just a fighting man who will fight in the ring against anybody. And Jake Paul just happens to be calling my name and all for what. But I'm here. I've done my part tonight. He's done his part tonight. Why not make it next? It's the fight. It's on the tip of everyone's tongue. Nobody wants to see him fight another MMA kid. Why not come against a pro boxer? So, we're both. I've got a huge following in the UK, and I don't think it's too bad in America as well. So, happy days there. It just seems right. But again, this is Jake Paul talking about. Can he stand on? I don't know.
Tommy, I'm sure BT Sport will put that clip out very shortly, but you came face to face with Jake Paul. You were saying things to each other. What did you see when you looked into his eyes?
I've seen nothing. I've seen absolutely nothing. Jake Paul's got nothing inside him, and I've seen that in that corridor right then. Because there was a moment in that corridor where everything was going off between the security and my team, his team, and it was just me and him. And I looked dead into his soul. And when them cameras are not around, he doesn't want to know. I mean, let's be honest, if he really wanted to fight me, I'd have been in that ring there at the end of the fight, through the ropes, let's go, there's no return. But he didn't want that. And the reason why he didn't want me in the ring is because if I was getting in there, he wouldn't be able to go back on it. That's why I wasn't in the ring tonight.
What'd you think of your performance tonight? You just won it all and not getting the finish?
My performance was, honestly, dog shit. Now I'm a realist. I don't beat around the bush and say how it is, and I always will say how it is. Win, lose, or draw, you will always see an honest, answer from myself. I didn't rate my performance tonight at all. At all. That's just period. But this is a sport of boxing. We have good days and bad days. I got the win, and that's all that matters in the fight. You come out with a W, and we're 7-0 now, and we're just going to keep on pushing forward, like I said before. Slowly but surely, we're going to get the right fights at the right time. And just enjoy it, because my career ambitions are a lot different, to Jake Paul's. That's why you can't relate us in the same sentence, because I've got ambitions of, being a world champion and being remembered. Doing this as my whole life. Jake Paul's in this to make a few quid and a bit more fame, and another bit to add to his content creation or whatever he wants to do. I'm a fighting man, and that's the difference between me and him.
Oh, time for one more question, guys. Right
Tommy,
here.
overall, what did you feel like it showed what level Jake's at this point, this fight?
I think tonight we all saw Jake Paul clearly didn't know how hard boxing was. He took one good right hand in the ear, stumbled back, went through the ropes, and he thought, oh God, it's a bit of an hard game this, isn't it? I'll stick to the YouTubing business. I think that's what you've seen tonight. He took one good shot in a boxing ring, and he crumbled. And if Tyron would have pressed on a little bit more through them rounds, Jake Paul would have been out there. Now, this is probably why you won't see me and him next, because if he did that with me in there, I'd have swarmed all over him, hands up round me here, straight to him, take everything that he's got on the arms and gloves, and I'd wear him down and smash him to pieces. But that's why you won't see me and Jake Paul. Not through me, through him.
Following up on that, Tommy, and this will be my last one on me. You said you weren't happy with your performance. Why do you feel you weren't able to take Taylor out of there tonight?
Many things. No excuses for me. That was the best camp I've ever had in my entire life. There's no excuses there. It's just a simple fact of experience. Not enough fights, not enough, amateur pedigree. I'm learning on the road here, and I think for a 22-year-old kid to come up halfway across the world without, his trainer and my dad left at home, 10 amateur fights, 7 professional fights, I don't think I'm doing too bad. And obviously that was a huge crowd. I enjoyed every single minute of it, but I think for the stage where I'm at in my career, I'm more than happy, because I'm not an Olympic gold medalist, I'm not a multi-nations champion, I'm just a normal kid with a few fights on a big stage trying to do my best. And it is what it is. We got the win tonight, we'll go back and then we'll assess and we'll go forward again. That's just how this game works.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thanks, Tommy.
Safe ride home, man.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All the media.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
This way, yeah? Amanda's right outside, so Amanda Serrano's coming in right now.
Media, please take a seat.
I gave the shot to Patrick when I left the room.
Colin, through the side door.
But first thing you can do this battery too. Do
This Wi-Fi is atrocious.
101 minutes. And that's my last battle. No, I didn't shoot
Amanda's team, Mr. Conchance is right here. Thank you. You're tight here.
Hey, on a good side. I don't know what that's that one. You guys tell me.
You got a question for Amanda Serrano? You guys have questions, you can start.
Carlos.
Amanda.
Back there.
Carlos, go. Stand up, please.
Amanda, obviously, tonight came out with a win, and obviously, it's been kind of a long year for you. You've been wanting to sort of unify the featherweight division. You've been calling out those that are champions at 126 pounds. You haven't been getting those fights. In your opinion, what sort of is left for you to do to try to get those fights? And if it doesn't happen, sort of, what is next for you?
Well, we're hoping, we're going to go back to the drawing board, and I don't know what these girls want. If they've been offered a pretty decent amount, the most that they've ever been offered, and I don't know what's going to happen. I want to become undisputed champion. I mean, if you're a champion in the weight division, you want to be not just a piece of the pie, you want the whole pie. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to continue to fight other champions in other weight classes because I want to be the best at featherweight.
Is there a possibility that maybe if those unification fights don't happen, then maybe you go back to another weight class and try to see if you find better success in there?
I don't know. I feel great at featherweight. This is my weight class. I want to dominate this weight class, and I don't think anybody can beat me at featherweight at 126. So I want to continue there.
Overall,
We'll
how would you sort of assess, Yamilev Mercado, obviously she was aggressive, she tried to be aggressive throughout the entire fight, and you kind of kept your distance and traded when you needed to, and you sort of did, and she tried to sort of fight back towards the end. How do you sort of assess Mercado, and were you surprised at anything that she did?
I didn't feel that she was aggressive. She wasn't fighting like a Mexican. I think she was boxing a little bit. I wanted a fight. I wanted to be a Mexican fight. I wanted her to come forward, and I guess she figured she didn't want to engage with me. She felt my power, and yeah, I was breaking her down round by round, and the last round we saw I caught her with the hook, and but she was a tough fighter. Mexicans are all tough, but she didn't want to engage.
What with your coaches at the end?
My coach he's very vocal, and because during training camp interviews, she was saying that she's down if I'm the Pacquiao of boxing, she's gonna be the Marquez, and that's kind of disrespectful. So he wanted the Mexican fighter to come and fight like a Mexican, and they didn't do that, and so he was just a little upset.
Keith, right here.
I mean, we definitely want that fight. I definitely want to fight Katie Taylor. She's arguably the number one, two. We both do two Clarissa Shields me and Katie's top three. I definitely want the fight, and we're hoping if I become undisputed champion, that fight can come along. I want to be undisputed champion versus undisputed champion. But I don't know what's happening now, so we just gotta go back and just figure it out.
She's obviously fighting Saturday, so would you be open to fighting her next?
I mean, I'm open to fight anybody, but it's up to my team what they feel is right. Definitely want to fight her, but I just have to find out what they want to do. Of course. Yes. I mean, all she has to do is continue to win, and I continue to win, and that fight is gonna happen.
What do you think of the Cleveland crowd tonight?
Oh my God, it was awesome. I was so surprised how much fans I have here. It was amazing. The last time I felt this was in Madison Square Garden, and it was a crazy crowd. And with this whole pandemic going along, we haven't felt that crowd, and it was just amazing coming out to the music, and I was just taking it all in. It was an amazing night.
What do you do after winning tonight? Are you gonna rest a little bit, or you can go and celebrate?
Well, I'm gonna get something to eat, that's for sure. But I leave tomorrow early. My flight's at 10 o'clock. I'm back home, and then I guess we'll celebrate home. I just go off to eat.
In the back, Marcos.
Amanda, do you think there's any roadblocks to making that Katie Taylor fight, or what do you think needs to be done in order to secure that fight, that it does happen?
Well, the right payday. You know, I've done everything I have to do. I'm fighting good fights, top 10 girls. I'm beating them. I'm doing what I have to do to continue to keep my name out there, and it's just up to the promoters. I mean, let's see if and the money. You know, I want to get paid what I deserve.
You know, this will be my last question, and this might sound like a silly question, but the Jordans, the sneakers, you instead of fighting in regular boxing shoes, just talk to me about that. I haven't seen that.
Well, I usually train in sneakers in the gym, but you know, Michael Jordan is one of the greatest, so I want to be just like him, one of the greatest in female boxing. And if anyone knows how to get blood off of Jays, please let me know, because I got blood on them and I'm pretty upset.
Right there.
Hey, man, you've obviously mastered boxing, and you went to MMA. Tyron went in MMA, started in MMA, transitioned to boxing. I just wanted to get your kind of, reaction towards the fight and everything like that.
Yeah, it's MMA and boxing is two different sports, and either going from one to another, it's crazy. You have to just give it everything like to one sport. And I know when I'm going to MMA, I can't even think about boxing. It's just MMA. And you know, Woodley, he's a fighter. He was a champion, and you know, he was, he came out tonight and he didn't get the win. Hopefully, he gets the rematch like he said he wants. But I don't know. I mean, Jake Paul, he showed that he's a fighter tonight.
What'd you think of Woodley's boxing?
I mean, Woodley, it wasn't like the greatest, but it was tough. It was his first time. It was his pro debut. So you have to, and just like Jake, he's learning on the job. He's never had any amateur experience. And, you know, Woodley, he was a fighter. So he was able to see it a little more than Jake. But they're going to just continue to learn. And Jake is young, and he's going to continue to train hard. And one day he's going to surprise all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
Should have Ty.
What the?
Less than 5 minutes, so it's less than 5. Okay. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Sure.
What'd you think of the fight?
Huh?
What'd you think of the fight?
I think the fact that we're here talking about Jake Paul lasting 8 rounds against Tyron Woodley says enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you put me in a ring with Tyron, I'm getting knocked out round 1. So, like, Jake lasted 8 rounds and we're talking about who won, that says enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Tyron deserved a rematch?
100%.
Yeah.
I think they need to have a rematch. I don't think he goes to Tommy right back. He doesn't. You don't go to Tommy right after that performance. I think this was a stepping stone for Jake to see what the real world is about, and Tyron brought it, but I don't think he goes to Tommy Fury right after that. I don't think he does.
Yeah. Who do you think's winning between him and Tommy? Jake and Tommy, I should say.
Right now, I mean, you know, it would be foolish to give that decision. I mean, we expected, like I talked to my brother earlier today, we watched boxing our whole lives, and we thought Tommy was ending this shit with a KO. He didn't. So we can talk about his performance. So talk about Jake's performance going 8 rounds against Tyron Woodley. I ain't talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fair.
We're gonna have to see. We give him time. Jake Paul's brand new, but people expecting him to be like Floyd, like in his prime.
We're
That's
waiting
not
for
happening.
Woodley.
Yeah.
Give him time. Let him go up the trenches. Let's see what he got.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you. At least that.
How many foods are there? You can do this somewhere else in 5 minutes.
Oh, there's only one. I'm everywhere, baby. Huh?
Okay.
We're good. We're good. I expected a knockout from Jake in rounds 3 and 4. I'm surprised it didn't happen. And that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna BS for my video. I'm gonna say we need a rematch. We need to see what's gonna happen in future rounds. They need to see each other again. I think Jake should have been way more the aggressor than he was. I think he was on the defensive all 8 rounds. I wanted to see him step up more. It didn't happen, but we'll see what happens in the next match.
If you're Woodley, where do you get the tattoo?
Huh?
If you're Woodley, where do you get the tattoo?
On the thigh. Nobody sees it. Unless you're with that person, but nobody sees it. Get the tattoo if you want the rematch. Get the tattoo, do it again, and then make Jake get it on your chest if you beat him on the second go. That's what happened.
You have one of the in the house.
Who's any words for aspiring YouTubers?
Be consistent, be unique, be the next Jake Paul. Because as much as you want to say about him, we're all talking about him right now. So, yeah.
Good.
Were you in another state?
Yeah, West Virginia. I was in West Virginia.
Fights were good?
Yeah.
I'm easy by that.
Yeah.
I was watching. Oh, yeah, I introduced you to every person in the house.
You think Jake can keep boxing?
Just get started. So is hitless.
Yeah. Have him and Logan actually sparred yet? Or no? That's it. tried to ask him to beat there. What do you think? I'm not recording it.
That's bad. You
can say
fight your brother.
I mean, you spar though. I'm good spar. It's Jake. You can say.
You can say whatever you want. I got no answer.
That's why you're in charge, man.
Guys.
You know the right answer.
The soul's gonna win. Absolutely. Show me Sunday night.
It was lit. Hey, can we just win that night? Dude?
It was fucking dope.
Yeah. Aside from the business shit by my school, that was a little different. Yeah, I was by school. I was shit right into it. I'm also like trash. And I'm gonna say no.
Correct?
Shit.
Your upload?
Well, yeah, actually, I'm basing that on my life. But.
Yeah, I just mean the upload.
Hey, you get over 20.
Huh? Thank you. 5 bars on the side.
So, Korea with me at?
Whatever.
Right there.
Here from you.
Let's go ahead. Questions.
Tyron, how you feel confident in a rematch happening after that fight?
Of course, man. I feel like I won that fight. I feel like I landed a power shot. I feel like even when he landed the shot, I fucking brushed it off and I came back and I cracked him. I was in his face. I was in his shit. Pause. And his back was against the rope the entire time. I was walking him down. Could have been a little bit more assertive. I was patient. I was saying my shots, but I didn't want to be antsy. I mean, he got overhand right. He may have landed a couple times, but I know he threw a lot, missed a lot, blocked a lot, and I feel great in my conditioning. I mean, I fucking felt amazing out there cardio-wise. My body felt good. Even when he landed, you know, a hard shot, I know when you're in great shape and you're in condition for it, you're able to absorb more. You hit me in the body a couple times. I'm like, no, dog, it's more than that. So I felt like I had him. One time I almost knocked him through the rope. I really wasn't fucking with that rope. It was like we came in this morning to do a test run. It's like, if you're not 7'7", shit, you can be held up by it. So I hit him, and he kind of bent into the rope, so I was going to try to knock him through that motherfucker.
Did you feel the power? I guess that their camp was saying.
No. Look at my face. Do it look like I felt somebody's power?
No, you still look good, man.
I got hit with a shot, but this is boxing. I was supposed to not get hit. I have one cut on my face. I look just as pretty as I did going in, coming out. I never touched the canvas. He was the only one that was close to touching the canvas. Like I said before, I believe the rope actually held him up.
Keith, right here.
Do you have any confidence at all when Jimmy Young was reading the scorecards? I thought I won. To be honest, I was surprised it was a split decision. I thought it was close. I thought he had won some rounds. I thought earlier the rounds was close, and you know if I can go back, I'll kind of kick myself because I could have made it a little bit more convincing. But I was just trying to fill him out, and I was trying to take my time. And you know I knew he was gonna throw a lot of jabs. I was just gonna see how he was gonna react to feints and pressure. And no, I wasn't surprised when they said a split. I knew it was kind of close, but I thought it was going to be me. So I was kind of more, my demeanor and my emotion was because I wanted to knock him out. And I had a couple big shots I landed, a couple opportunities, and I think I had him hurt, I had him tired a couple times, and I didn't press him a little bit. I should have pressed him a little bit more, but I was just, you know, the last fight I had a guy on the ropes and I fucking with ape shit on him. I was going crazy and I got snapped with a punch, so I was just trying to be a little bit more smart.
USA Today in the back.
Tyron, do you feel like just mostly 1-2 because you had the biggest moment in the fight when you pushed him back into the ropes there? And
I had the biggest moment in the fight for sure, but I told you guys a long time ago. I said don't get this shit fucked up. Everybody like, oh, this YouTube reverse. No, I told you it's gonna look like a fight. I said it from the very beginning. I never played it like it wasn't a fight. You can see the way I was training, the way I was built, my conditioning. I knew it was gonna be a fight, but I was gonna be patient. I was expecting myself to get the knockout. So I definitely had the biggest moment. I felt like that's when the momentum shifted in that round. And I feel like, I had the bigger punches, and I feel like I had more pressure.
Ellie, right here in the front. Ellie.
You finna ask him some bullshit, ain't you? I haven't already seen.
No.
That motherfucker like,
One more back here.
Even if the rematch doesn't materialize next.
No, it's done. You
You
doing a
still want to
rematch.
pursue boxing though, regardless. You
For sure, I'm doing a rematch, so I gotta get that win. It was too close, and this was a movie. Ain't nobody gonna push a needle like me and him did. We fucking sold the shit out this pay-per-view. I think everybody was excited about it. There's some humorous moments, and I couldn't even really watch a lot of it because I was trying to stay focused. But Jake, man, he good at what he do. If I would have allowed him to get into my mind, to get into my head, it could have been a similar circumstances as his previous opponent. So he was tough. He was fatigued in the fight, and he found a way to push through, and he came through strong. So I can't never knock him for that. But we got to run that back.
Tell me about the conversation. Congratulations on the performance.
Yeah.
You had with Jake afterwards, where he said if you get the tattoo, you get the rematch.
Yeah, I mean, I said, shit, fuck it, let's do it. I mean, you only live once, man. This is a movie. And this whole time I felt like this was a real ass movie. And I'm like, dude, the promo, the fucking, all the PR behind it, all the stuff, the training, the antics, everything that went with it. I've never been a part of nothing like this again. And to even do another fight that's not on this magnitude is kind of feel weird, you know what I mean? So I want to fucking do it again. I think the next time it's going to be bigger. People see it's a real fight now. It's not like some YouTube kid fucking fighting some old ass UFC fighter that's washed up. He fought a fucking man that came in there and meant business.
Did you get the tattoo already?
Nah, I had to take a shower. My damn shoulders are sore from knocking his head around.
Right here.
Tyron, how did the situation on Thursday affect you?
It didn't. That was a separate situation. I just don't fuck around when it comes out of my mom. And I appreciate you. I saw you in the mix a little bit. Right is right. And that's why I just told Jay on Love. I said, I don't really care. You can do whatever you want to. You can say whatever you want to. You could have took my hat because you can see I got a full hairline and my hair fresh. You can do whatever you want. But when you started going back and forth with my mom, you'll get scraped.
What surprised you most about him tonight?
Nothing surprised me, to be honest. I kept telling you, I said, this is going to look like a fight. I just thought I was going to be able to knock him out. I could have had, if I would have pressured him a little bit more, I think that I would have brought that moment up. But I know he's athletic. I know he has a screw loose. He's elevated and go all the way to the top floor. And in combat sports, can be the fucking toughest dude sometimes. I knew 1 or 2 shots wasn't going to hurt him to the point where he was just going to quit. I did hit him in the body a couple of times that he didn't like. I wish I would have kept putting money in the bank there. But at the end of the day, I knew he was tough. I knew he was training hard. Like, this is like, if he beat me, he can give it all. Like, imagine if you got a chance to go one-on-one with Michael Jordan. You don't give a fuck. You're going to go crazy. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm Michael Jordan because I know you're going to spin that and take that one little line and make a whole headline out of it. But what I'm saying is that he was facing somebody who had championship belts in the toughest division in the world at the time. And he put everything into it. He ain't got no kids. He ain't got no day job. This all he had to do. So I expected him to come prepared. I expect him to come ready. Next time, I'm going to be even more prepared. He's going to be even more prepared. And the fight's going to be even better.
Damon right here.
Tyron, you said nothing surprised you. Did anything impress you about Jake tonight?
No, because I was already expecting. I was already expecting him. He threw a couple combinations, but you gotta expect somebody that only had 4 fights to evolve. I didn't even look at. He don't have that many fights, to be honest, and I didn't even waste time looking back at his fights, looking at his fucking sparring, because he's smart. He's putting out all the flash shooting money guns and fucking hitting the folks. He's not putting real shit on the internet because he's in his infant stages of boxing. And for somebody that's got good size, good punch, good IQ, good chin, and just fucking, like I said, he just don't give a fuck sometimes. I think, you gotta be prepared for that. For me, I feel like nothing really impressed me. And that's not to say that he wasn't impressive. I just expected a lot.
You had the tattoo thing obviously came up afterwards. Is there any part of you though that feels like Jake rewatches the fight, maybe rewatches that right hand, maybe he doesn't want to do the rematch?
No, he already said it now. He making all these dumbass bets, and I keep forgetting I'm fighting a child, man. I'm like, I got a kid that's 18 that's about to go play D1 football. And I'm sitting there dealing with somebody that's not too much older than him, and he making all these bets, and I'm just trying to be professional, trying not to laugh. So yeah, I think his pride's important to him, and I think part of him taking this fight was that. So him fighting me again, or committing to fighting me and not going through with it, I don't think he's gonna do that.
One right here.
So I'm actually not gonna talk shit. I'm a YouTuber myself, and I thought they were giving it to you or a draw to get a part 2 to happen.
That's what I thought.
Do you regret not letting your hands go? And if there was a part 2, would you not be afraid to let your hands go?
No, there is gonna be a part 2, and you know, I do regret it. There were certain moments when I clipped him one time, and when I saw him huffing and puffing, and his hands were going. I'm not gonna say the shots because I think those shots are gonna come back the next time around. But I saw a couple shots that I know I could have landed, and I think I was just like, man, just don't it's there, don't rush it, because body language says a lot. Anytime you open up and show a big shot, like when he landed his right hand, it's because he didn't show it. When he showed it, he missed it, and I blocked it or anything like that. So I was just trying to get my body language not to show that I saw the opening.
You have one more question, Mark.
Tyron, you get the tattoo tonight?
Shit, I don't know. I need to see some paperwork on this rematch shit, because I think that's a game plan.
Where are you gonna get it?
Are you gonna make sure that you get something in paper before you get the tattoo so that they
I
have to do
mean,
the rematch?
to be honest, Nikisi gave me his word. He hasn't did me wrong since. So I kind of got to roll with him on that. He's honored everything he said to me since the beginning with this whole promotion thing. So
Where are you gonna get it?
shit, I ain't finna get it nowhere where I gotta fucking look at that bitch. I don't know, probably my thigh or some shit.
Thank you,
I
Tyron.
thought I was gonna get on my face.
Ty, what's the one thing that Jake said that made you really want to laugh, but you just didn't want to lose character?
Y'all already know. Y'all already know. And he was baiting me too. He was trying to get me canceled, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was trying to get me to baby, but I didn't take the bait. I just fucking kept saying to myself, I'm glad I wear sunglasses. Normally when you guys see me fight week, I wear sunglasses because I'm sucked down. I'm drained and my eyes, the light makes my eyes really hard to see, and I'm annoyed, and you ask me the same dumbass questions that everybody, you just heard fucking Josh ask me, why you ask me how I feel? I feel like shit. I'm cutting 35 pounds. What do you think I feel like? So this time it was just because I wanted to just block it out. You know, I knew he was gonna have these scripts and monologues and this whole fucking spiel. But then he started saying, I ain't even gonna get into it.
Yeah.
But that shit was funny.
What do you think of the Showtime promotion versus UFC?
Man, they killed that shit. I can't say it's comparative. Like the only thing I can say is this was a complete movie, and I enjoyed it. It was a lot. It was a lot of PRs, a lot of cameras. But one thing they were always mindful of is we're still fighting. We still got to train. They were mindful of rest. It was mindful of scheduling, and that was something that I will go ahead and say that, you know, sometimes the UFC got so many fights. They got 4 or 5 fights a month. They don't give a fuck. They put their camera on you. They don't care if you cut the weight, if you fucking looking ashy or, you know, dying in the sauna. They want their camera time. And I do got to shout out, you know, all the 24/7, all the Showtime crew. It was like 4 or 5 different crews that was pressing. And I remember Showtime when I was a young whippersnapper coming up, but I feel like they've evolved to a whole nother level. Got to shout out Alicia. She's a GOAT. She was cold, and she just, the way they communicated. Chris, I know he and Dory's somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Espinosa, everybody, yeah, you know, because I'm not the easiest person to deal with. Sometimes I get cranky, sometimes I get annoying, but they were very professional, and I'm blessed to have fought for Showtime again. I miss it a lot, and I felt like I was treated with respect, and I look forward to doing it again.
What did Pedro, GT, and Eric tell you after the fight?
They told me they thought I won. They said it was a close fight, but I think you won. You landed the power shots. Motherfuckers act like you won. Like, you know you won. Don't be sitting around. I was kind of sad because I wanted to knock him out because he was talking all that shit. I was like, I know I could have knocked him out, and I knew if I rushed, you know, look what happened to Nate Robinson when he rushed. Look what happened when Ben didn't have his hands up, and I didn't even see the other fights. But you know, he pried on people like rushing in and letting their emotions get to him, and I think I need to find a happy medium. So I was more bummed about that, but I still thought I won the fight, you know. So they, of course, my coaches are world class. They all 3 of them in their own right, and they all 3, you know, say, hey, we're gonna go back and look at the film. We're gonna figure out what we need to do. We're gonna keep growing. You were in shape, you know. We know what we could have did better. I felt like you won the fight, and you know, they're not gonna tell me they thought I lost the fight if I lost. They're not gonna tell me that they thought I won the fight. You know what I mean? If they didn't think I won the fight. So I feel good about it. I feel good about my performance. I feel good that any motherfucker that thought I was old and thought I was washed up and thought I wasn't gonna back up and just defend, the motherfuckers know now.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Ty, you let you get some sleep.
What position did your son play?
Huh?
What position did your son play?
Great performance. Great performance. Great weekend. Take care. Safe travels. Just like to announce for the record, we're going to replay the Gonna replay the main event, Ranch Chicken Love, followed by the main event to the Monster Sacrifice tonight. I think you guys got the attendance number, 16,000, a sellout of the building tonight. 16,000.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Jake will be in a minute. You do 3 before they get small, you know? Yeah, he's on his way. Yeah, I'm on this. I would appreciate it.
That's part of the reason I wanted to fight him. Oh, sick. Like, he's super sick. I wanted to grab them cheeks and keep him first. Oh, sick. So,
No.
Yeah, even tired of that. You had to laugh.
Just a minute. We're just clearing out some of this.
Why did you say you're a troublemaker right from the back?
I can raise him at him. He thought like I was gonna troll him. It wasn't that at all.
But he knows you as a troublemaker.
Yeah, 100%.
What's you watch UFC?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Not enough to talk about it. I don't want to break up. I don't know.
What did you think of John Smith?
Guys, raise your hand. I'm gonna try to get to as many as possible. Take your question. You want?
Congrats, Jake.
You don't want. Hey. Okay, guys. We're in the middle here.
Hi, Jake.
What's good?
I say congratulations on the
Why
win.
is everyone so tired? Just want to. What's good? We get some energy here. It's history right now. Barley House.
Now, Jake, obviously, congratulations on the win there. You went the full 8 rounds with Tyron Woodley. Just tell me, assess your performance for me in there.
You know, I'm always very hard on myself. I think a true champion is very hard on themselves. You know, I got the W, and I'm happy, but, you know, I'm a perfectionist. I'm a knockout artist, and because I didn't get the knockout, I'm just like, damn. But it is what it is. He's one of the greatest welterweights of all time, 5-time UFC champion, and he came game. You know, he knew that this was going to be a war, and he brought that to the table. So I'm very happy. Like I said, he's been fighting 7 times as long as I have. So for me to come in there and have a dominant victory, let's be honest, that wasn't a split decision. What is the judge looking at? You know, I landed 71 punches. He landed 52. So, you know, I learned a lot tonight. First time I went past 4 minutes. First time 8-round fight. One's doing 8-round fight 4 fights in.
Can I just ask as well, obviously we're from the UK, we've got an interest in Tommy Fury being there. There was an altercation outside in the hallway. Could you just elaborate what your side was and what you're taking that?
Yeah, look, the guy really had nothing to say. You know, he had a mediocre performance against sparring partner. All credit to Anthony Taylor. He's a tough guy, but Tommy Fury is supposed to be this tough, big bad guy, legendary bloodline. I got into his face and I let him talk. I don't really have anything to say to him. At the end of the day, I hired him to be here. I gave him an opportunity to shine. I don't really have anything to say. I don't really have any bad. I just said, yo, like, tell your girl my DMs. At the end of the day, will we fight? I'll run that shit easy. That's an easier fight than Tyron, in my opinion. But who knows?
West. You good?
Oh yeah, okay. If
Sorry, but like people are like, oh, he's a real boxer, fight a real boxer.
I
Okay,
think that's what
maybe
people
let's run it. Okay,
Yeah,
real
I-
boxer.
I think
The
that's
real
what people are
boxer
saying
went
now.
4 rounds, right? The
Yeah,
real
that's what we're
boxer went
saying.
4
But
rounds
he's still a boxer.
against someone who is inferior, all respect to Anthony Taylor, Tyron Woodley. Jake did tonight what Tommy Fury has not done. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Maybe the numbers will come back from Britain, pay-per-view will be big, and Jake will have interest. But until then, it just doesn't make any sense.
If he sold a lot of pay-per-views in the UK and we're impressed with the numbers, sure. But I put him on this platform, so we'll see what happens.
Right here.
If the challenge to ever fight someone in MMA, if it was Tyron or someone, along those lines, is that something you'd ever consider? I know you just got into boxing, but would, MMA, UFC ever be something you would consider?
Not right now, man. Shit, I'm just getting warmed up. I'm a boxer at the end of the day. I haven't trained MMA at all. I'm only 4 fights. Let me prove myself in this sport first.
Right here.
Jake, so I understand, like, it takes time. Like, if I look at Floyd Mayweather's record, like, I don't remember his first 10 opponents. So I'm asking you, do you think your next opponent should be somebody like Tommy Fury, or would you want to take Woodley on again to have a more convincing victory until you call out somebody like Tommy Fury?
Yeah, look, I mean, no, like you said, no one's doing, as sane as humbly as possible, no one's doing this big of fights, 4 fights in boxing history ever. No one watched Floyd's 4th fight. Canelo fought a guy who was 0-0 in his 10th fight. I'm taking on world champion, 5-time UFC champion in my 4th fight, selling out arenas in my hometown. If Tyron Woodley gets the tattoo, he better get it fast, because otherwise we're gonna get a different opponent. I told him if he wants to get the tattoo, put it on his Instagram.
Permanent tattoo.
Permanent tattoo. Then maybe we'll talk about it. But to be honest, I won convincingly. We're gonna go back to the drawing board. But I think I proved a lot tonight and proved a lot of people wrong.
Keith, here.
Jake, you caught you with a good hand, obviously, in the front. Can you take us through that sequence and how you were able to overcome that?
Yeah, look, this is boxing. I hadn't been hit up until that point in any of my fights with 10-ounce gloves. So that's the first time I take a shot with 10-ounce. I repeat, that is the first time I took a real shot with 10-ounce gloves in 4 fights. I ate it. It was a good shot. This is boxing. If you're a mechanic, you're gonna get dirty. But I proved I have a chin. Don't get hit, come right back. Okay, cool. You got that round with that shot. No problem. I learned from it. I made adjustments, and he didn't land it again for the next 3 rounds. So it is what it is, I like that I got hit. I licked my gloves after that shit. Let's go.
Jake, congratulations, man. Throughout the fight, you just mentioned the 4th round. Did you feel your gas tank was working for you? And I noticed you kind of saw him as well, and I planted some body shots there. Do you feel you should have done that more?
Look, like I said, I'm very hard on myself. I fought a good fight. I won convincingly. I was landing to the body a lot. Coming into it, something in my legs was a little off even before the fight started. So most of the other fights I felt amazing, a rocket ship about to go off. This fight I was just a little slow. I think maybe we had too long of a camp. I think I've been doing this back to back to back to back to back. 4 fights, 18 months. Most pros aren't that active. So I could have done better always. There's always room for improvement in this sport, no matter who you are. And I want to be a champion, world champion. So I could go back, watch the footage, study, get better.
Well, why no stool? Real quick, I noticed you were standing in between rounds. Why no stool?
In sparring, we don't sit down. So in the fight, I sit down, and I wasn't that tired. Like I said, my legs didn't feel as powerful. But I wasn't tired. I could have went 2, 3 more rounds, 4 more rounds, whatever. It is what it is.
Damon, yeah.
2 quick questions. Obviously, you wanted the knockout, but is there any part of you that's actually happy you went 8 rounds? You got hit. You had to go through some adversity. Had to show your gas tank. Is there any part of you that's actually happy in a weird way that it played out that way?
For sure, dude. For sure. This is better preparation for future fights against tougher opponents. and I've been looking for this experience to get it under my belt. I'm salty because I had a perfect record going. You know, if you count my amateur, that was 4-0 with 4 KOs. Now I'm 5-0 with 4 KOs. So I had a perfect record going, and you know, couldn't live up to that tonight. But he came game. You know, this was a Tyron Woodley that I think was more prepared than in his last UFC fights. The shots he was taking, I was hitting him. You know, and he was going through that, and I hit hard. But you know, I am happy that I got some experience in my belt, and I've always said that. You know, when am I gonna get a fighter to really test me? I passed the test.
Obviously, you're amped in the ring, the tattoo bed, everything like that. But you're so young in your career, 4-0, to go and start doing rematches. So, do you think at some point you will see Tyron Woodley again, or is there a party that feels like you want to put him behind you and move to somebody else now?
Yeah, we'll see. You know, part of me wants to put him behind me. I won convincingly. Like I said, the split decision with the judges, to be honest, like, doesn't make any sense. I landed 71 punches, he landed 52. It's not even close. You know, we'll see. If he gets the tattoo fast, puts it on his Instagram, I might consider it. You know, we'll come in, make adjustments with my legs feeling better than they did tonight. And I do think I could do a lot better. I wasn't even landing some of my best punches. Some nights you're on, some nights you're off. This is a peak performance sport. You do everything in camp for one moment. Some days in camp I felt way better than tonight. But some nights when you come in for that peak moment, you're just, not everything's there. And it is what it is. I'm not making any excuses. I still won. I still did good, but I know I can do better.
Omar?
Jake, what was the atmosphere like? Even LeBron tweeted, I'm not sure if you saw that, he wishes he flew into Cleveland to be at the
Damn,
fight.
really?
Yeah. So, what is your
Man,
reaction
that's
to
crazy.
that? And how does that make you feel?
I'm like getting teary-eyed. That's sick. Man, like I said, I was in those stands 12 years ago screaming, LeBron, 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 trying to get him to notice me. So for him to even tweet about this, that's crazy. Like, I'm being really hard on myself, but man, I've accomplished so much in the past 4 fights. No one's doing this, you know?
No one's ever done what he's doing in 4 fights. That's unequivocal.
Try not to cry. But for him to even tweet that is crazy.
Congrats, man.
Jake, do you consider yourself now the biggest boxing star in the world?
I don't consider myself anything. I consider myself a judge. Nah, maybe. I think I'm one of the faces of boxing, just because I'm doing it differently. There's room for everyone to eat, though. I don't want to take everything. I don't want to. This is a sport where there's hundreds of amazing fighters, and all I want to do is bring more eyeballs from a different audience. Everyone here saw the crowd tonight. This wasn't your typical boxing audience. This was kids that were rowdy, lit, holding up signs saying, subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is a completely different audience, and that's what I want to bring to boxing. So I'm going to bring that over. They'll become fans of boxing and love all the other fighters. But I'm certainly, one of the top 3 biggest draws for sure.
Before
top
the fight.
3, top 5. I don't know. Like, let's look at the numbers.
Before the fight, you refused to touch gloves, but prior to the 8th round, you actually extended your glove to do that. Why the difference?
He earned my respect. He was game, you know? He was bringing the fight. And at the end of the day, you know, it's 2 men going in there risking their lives. So after all the shit talk is done, you know, I'm cool with showing respect. But this is a crazy business. Like I said, we're risking our lives in there, and so he earned my respect. I'm gonna touch his glove after. I even told him after. I said, good fight. And I said, look, bro, a lot of tension, a lot of build up, a lot of back and forth between our teams, but I respect you, and no hard feelings.
Right here.
Jake, congratulations on the performance. You've been doing nothing but boxing for like 18 months. And tonight in the ring after the fight, you talked about how, you know, you need a proper haircut, you need to chill for a second.
Seriously.
After tonight, are you still 100% focused on boxing, or are you thinking about all the other things you might want to do with your life?
I don't even know, man. I think I'm gonna start with the haircut and the dentist. My teeth are crooked. My nose is crooked from this sport. I've given everything to this sport. I haven't gone on vacation in 3 years. There's a lot for me to do right now. We'll see. You know, I have a beautiful girlfriend who needs some attention. I have a lot of things to figure out. Nikisa and I, we're gonna go back to the drawing board and figure it out. This is my bread and butter right now, though. So we'll see. You know, right now I'm a little tired. That was my first 8-round fight. So I might wake up tomorrow morning and be like, let's fucking go, sign the next contract. Or I might wake up and be like, damn, I need to go to Turks and Caicos.
So, Jake, I met you about 3-4 years ago before you even started boxing. I was during day one, I think November, about 3 years ago. Did you ever imagine from that moment to where you are now?
Never. You know, I knew I would be doing great things in this sport. I knew how bad I wanted this. I just didn't think it would happen this fast. I mean, look at how many fucking cameras. Like, who are these guys filming? You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. So I didn't imagine it to get here this fast. But to be honest, I've surrounded myself with an amazing team. I've put in the work. And this is different. This is what the sport needed. And so when you work hard at something, when you surround yourself with amazing people and you have one focus, you know, really anything is possible, and you can accomplish that. And you know, the sky is the limit. If I'm doing this in my 4th fight, what can I do a couple fights from here? It's shocking to really think about it. I have a saying that I wrote down on my on paper and put it up on my mirror, and it says, think of where you started. Now imagine how far you can go. When I was 16 years old, falling asleep in class, nothing really going for me. I knew there was something else more for me out there. I just didn't know what it was because I couldn't break out of the bubble of living in Ohio. I didn't know. And to think it's only been, 7 years? And I feel like I could retire and be happy, but I also at the same time feel like I'm just getting started.
But you do things different. Your trunks, LED, I've never seen that.
Hey, let's go. Thank you.
That's a robot as well.
First time ever.
Far
Future
side.
of boxing. You know, you can't just say it. I gotta be about it, and I wanted to bring something different. We jumped that up and made it happen.
Very impressive.
Yesterday you didn't get his hat, but can you talk to us a little bit why you wanted his cheeks so bad?
First and foremost, shout out to you for wearing the Boohoo Man collection, the Problem Child Boohoo Man collection. I like that, the sweatshirts. That's some dope shit right there. BoohooMan.com. Man, I don't know. Everyone tries to be such a macho man in this sport, and I like to just have fun, make jokes, troll, grab cheeks.
Right here in the front. Jake, in the next fight, are you looking more of a challenge or the money?
I mean, all my fights thus far, I've looked for the challenge. You know, I'm finding out what I'm capable of in these fights. You know, this is how we got here today. I'm always looking for the challenge because me as a businessman, I need a hard opponent who people are going to want to tune in to see. I'm not trying to do small pay-per-views. I'm trying to make history. And all I've done since my first pro fight is increase the level of competition. First pro fight, I'm going up against a guy, the beast from the Middle East. Boom, boom, boom. He's supposed to beat me. Oh, shit. 1 round. Okay, let me fight a real athlete who's supposed to be a dog who can jump 36 inches in the air. Nate Robinson. Okay, I won. Damn, okay, I'm good. Okay, let me fight a champion, a wrestler. You know, maybe he's not the best striker, but he's a real fighter. He could take a shot from Robbie Lawler. Okay, I beat that guy. Boom, now we're at Tyron Woodley, 5-time UFC champion. Wow, I beat him? Okay, damn.
That's crazy, bro.
Right
in the middle.
Jake, you sold out today. Obviously, you're planning on fighting again. What city do you plan on possibly taking?
Honestly, I was thinking about this. Like, I'm probably gonna bring the fight back here.
Yeah.
Bro, this was
Yes,
dope.
sir.
This was a dream come true, and you saw the audience and the gate we did today was crazy. You know, we got some stats, but the live gate was bigger than Conor McGregor's headlining event of the UFC in his hometown Dublin, Ireland. So I sold more tickets than Conor McGregor did with the whole backing of the UFC in my 4th fight ever. We did more revenue. So might as well just bring it back here, and the crowd was lit. Everything was dope about this fight week.
And the crowd was there from 7 p.m., which is very rare for boxing, right?
Yeah, I was noticing that too. Like the stadium was full since the first pay-per-view fight. That's unheard of. These kids were excited, and I have people thanking me. The head of the commission here, like giving me a hug afterwards, like almost teary-eyed. Like, thank you for bringing this fight to Ohio. You're awesome. That's sick. I love when people show respect. I've done fights everywhere else, and they're just like, next.
Hey, Jake, can I ask you a quick question? Sorry. Conor McGregor actually just tweeted salivating, referring, I'm assuming because the timing of it was just after you won. Is that sort of something you would still really want to aim towards?
For sure. We're on the path to a lot bigger fights. I'm salivating too, because I'm just getting warmed up. Conor McGregor has a lot more to focus on besides me right now. I'm 5 wins in a row. He's 1-3 in the past 4 years. So guy needs to get off of his little vodka or whatever the fuck his brand is and sober up and start to get back in the fucking gym, and then we can fucking fight. But to be honest, no way he hits harder than Woodley. He doesn't weigh as much as Woodley. He's shorter than Woodley. I said it before the fight, I think Woodley's a harder fight than him. Especially on the weight where he's going. Conor's going down. I'm going up. Woodley came in game. We'll see.
All right, just two more guys, and then we'll let Jake go celebrate with his family and friends.
Hey Jake, congratulations. Just want to get your, I guess, if you want to respond. Nate Diaz also tweeted out, these guys both suck. I know you made memes about him. I just want to see if you wanted to respond to that.
When you read me the tweet, I read it like, these guys both suck. Again, another loser talking up. Of course he wants a payday. I'm the money fighter, one of the money fighters now in boxing. The guy's got a chin, but he doesn't land punches, right? So, that fight's there. No problem. Thank you for the attention. Thank you for watching me. I appreciate it, fanboy.
Last one right here.
Jake, so I remember when you had less YouTube subscribers than me, and then you blew me out the water. Do you feel like right now
This is a legend. This is a YouTube legend, by the way. Fuji in the building. This is a legend right here. So if you don't know who he is, he's a YouTube OG GOAT right here.
But Jake, my question to you is: do you feel like the media is putting too much pressure on you? Like, look what you have to do. Like, you just went 8 rounds with Tyron Woodley, and nobody thought voting beforehand. I don't care what anybody says. All the votes were against you. Everyone thought you were losing or getting knocked out, but you're still here today talking after a W. Do you feel like the media is putting too much pressure on you to perform over what you're capable of doing too early on?
I think the media and the fans or haters are definitely holding me to a very high standard because I have a loud mouth. So almost rightfully so. But I like that. That's what makes me better. That's what makes these fights bigger. And by the way, not only did I live up to the occasion, I won the occasion, and I have 8 rounds of experience now under my belt. I learned I can take a big ass shot from a guy who's knocked out all you guys in the UFC. So let's go, baby. I love it. Keep on doubting me, all of you, whoever it is. I know there's a lot of supporters in this fucking room, but whoever it is, everyone said leading up to the fight, Tyron Woodley's in Jake's head. Tyron Woodley's in Jake's head. Fuck out of here. I'm made of steel from toe to head to brain, everything. So I'm just getting warmed up and, keep doubting me. You'll see.
Congratulations, Jake. Very good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I did. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Congratulations. That was done.
Conor, who wants you?
boss. Thank you, man. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, appreciate you. Next tweet was his lobster dinner. He said salivating and he tweeted a picture of his lobster dinner.
Two biggest stars out of Cleveland.
Let's
You
go.
and LeBron
This
James.
is surreal, bro. I need to retweet that or some shit.
One more. You're impressive.
Jake Paul, first of all, congratulations on getting everybody out of their seats tonight. It was a ruckus crowd. You're at home, and social media is one thing, but being doing this kind of electric in-person crowd here for you, what did that feel like?
It's a dream come true. It's a real moment. You know, the pinnacle of my life, the pinnacle of everything that I've worked for. They were rowdy, you know, help me get through the fight, you know. And I do it for them. This is where it all started. You know, without them, I would be nothing. Without my fans, I would be nothing. So I owe it all to them. And this moment here and share with them is the dream come true. And by the way, I'm probably gonna bring it back and do it again because that shit was lit.
Talk about getting through the fight, 8 rounds. That's a long time for a fighter that doesn't have a lot of experience. By far the furthest he's gone. Tough.
I don't know if tough, yeah, like tough could be one word to describe it. I think it was just like new territory. You know, I was feeling it out, pushing myself out, getting into a rhythm of the fight, and against a really tough opponent. You know, this guy is a 5-time UFC champion. Came in shape, so all respect to him, and I'm happy because that experience now will carry out for the rest of my fights, and all the other ones I've just knocked them out, knocked these people like nothing. So now I've had a tough fight, now I got a chin, now I can, my cardio's on point.
Fourth round, you hit you with a big shot, you stumbled back into the ropes. Did that shot hurt you?
It didn't. I want to use the word hurt.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I enjoyed both experiences.
So gotta go through this moment. If you're a mechanic, you're gonna get dirty. If you're a football player, you're gonna get tackled. If you're a boxer, you're gonna get hit. I just proved that I have a chin. I proved that I can take a hard shot. You know, regroup and come back.